Hello, this is Dr. Carla Bloom. How are you doing? I wanted to make you a video. I think this PowerPoint's been difficult for some of you to open because of the way it was created. I don't know, it was created on my campus. My campus thinks it owns this PowerPoint. and it may in fact. However, I'm going to do this little movie so that you can have a simple YouTube URL, and my plan is for you to be able to see it, listen to me a little bit. If you don't know me, if you do know me, I hope you're having a really good break. I know we all deserved our breaks. All of us deserved all these breaks because it has been a long semester. I wanted to also let you use this video to sit with your family and friends and parents if they would like to see what the trip is about, get to know me a little bit, at least through my voice and telling you stories about USG Goes Global Porto. I am a professor at the College of Coastal Georgia in Brunswick. I live on St. Simon's Island, and I designed this Porto program for the state of Georgia. We went last year, and as you can see from this picture, we had a happy crowd. It's a happy country, and let me tell you a little bit more about it. Hopefully you've made your decision to go, and if you're sort of on the wall, as they say, I hope this puts you on the side that you just say, let's just go, and let me just go and do this trip. It's going to be awesome. So Portugal, as you may or may not know, is attached to Spain and is aligning the Atlantic Ocean on the left. Below is eventually the continent of Africa, and Spain dips down further south, of course, than Portugal. I will have a chance to tell you more about Dr. Fullerton in a minute, but you can see his name there and the dates of the program, meaning I want everybody in country on June 18th, and you all leave July 3rd. You can go earlier, you can stay later, you're going to buy your own ticket, and that worked out really well last year for everybody. So there's a couple of quotes here from students from my college, and this year we have about really a lot of College Coastal Georgia students going on the Porto program, and some are going to Paris and Madrid and London and Scotland, and Ireland, the other countries, but hopefully you're watching this because you have already committed, at least in theory, to going to Porto. To summarize these two quotes, I think it has to do with the freedom. When you're in country, you are free to do your field trips with me or Dr. Fullerton. Often we'll travel as two professors with all of our students, regardless of what courses you are actually taking. There'll be a couple days where we will split out. He will do courses by himself, and I will do courses by myself on field trip excursions. But after the field trips, you are free to do what you like. You want to go and find all the Starbucks in Porto because that's fun, then go ahead and do that. You want to have some friends that you've just made, or maybe you're bringing your bestie with you, which would be a fun way to travel. You can walk down to the River Douro and sit and listen to music and just kind of hang out. You can take the bus and or the metro and go to the have a really nice mall there and go check out the mall. So you have freedom to do what you like. You are required to attend my field trips because that is course time. We will live in the Move Hotel. It's Move Centro. There are two Move hotels, MOOV, in Porto. We'll stay at the one that's called Centro. This is at the top of the hill of Porto, and we walk down generally to go to a lot of the field trips. We will walk on a level if you're facing this hotel, we would go to the left and we would go down to the metro. That is not a hill, it's a flat street just filled with shops, traditional shops, bookstores, traditional, pastry stores. There's an art store in there. I'll let you explore it, but it is just a shopping street. There's no cars on that part of the street with all the shops. What you see in front of you here is the Move Hotel front. There's 24/7 staff in the lobby. They are completely fluent in English. And in fact, because this is a hotel, which is unique among all the USG countries. I really felt strongly that students have your own private space. You have your own hotel room. You'll have, of course, your bathroom. You'll have room service every day. It's a simple room. It is not going to have big fluffy, bathrobes. It has no amenities per se, but it is ultra clean. It is modern looking. You'll have your own window. You have your own your own AC, your own heat control, and a window that will open a little bit. Depending on where you are, I don't know what your view will be. Mine was kind of just a side street with some red tiled roof views, a little bit of construction, but it was really quite lovely. Your own small little TV with your remote. You can find English language stations or Portuguese stations. There's always people, as you can see on the left-hand panel out front, because there is a gorgeous blue tiled church right up those steps, up a few more steps. So there's people that come and take pictures. What else would you want to know about this hotel? Everybody loved it. There's a breakfast included with your hotel room, so to speak, and it's open for maybe about 7 a.m. till about 10 a.m. or 10:30, I think, yeah. And I just love eating in European kind of breakfast areas because it is filled with tourists, and tourists are happy people. So you sit there and there's a family from France one day, Germans, people sounded like maybe Dutch language. People from really all over the world visiting Porto will be there, and you can sit with a group or you'll get comfortable. It's basically your home base. And there's all sorts of food, there's all sorts of breads, there's some pastries, there's jello, there's yogurts, there's cheese, there's sliced meat, there's fresh orange juice. There's a big kind of one of those fancy coffee machines with a button that you can get a cappuccino or you can get regular coffee out of. A huge variety of fruit. There was kiwi, banana, oranges. You'll certainly find something. I had one student that only liked the Nutella packets and the little croissants, but she was completely happy with that food and ate that every day. So it depends what you like. That's Move Hotel Centro. You can look it up on TripAdvisor. It gets great ratings. I think students like to know and families like to know there are kind of more update and modern places. This is about I'll call it a 6 to 10 minute walk, leisurely walk from the hotel, and embedded in that really traditional street called Rua Catarina. And you can look up the Rua Catarina Mall, which is what this is, and you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, the entrance right off the street. So stores that you'll recognize like Levi's. If you go downstairs there's a money changing station. So even though I don't want you to bring a lot of US money, because I don't want you to travel with a lot of cash, some students did have a lot of cash with them. And I went down there, and you have to give your passport and you say you want to buy euros, and they bought their euros on site. Continente, you can see the grocery store there. That is a modern grocery store inside this mall. And you will recognize the layout. There are little bagged chickens, as you might have here at Winn-Dixie, for example. There are wrapped sandwiches, there are juices, there's organic food. It's a great grocery store. And you can see to the right of Continente, Wells. That's a pharmacy. And in Europe, and of course in Portugal, you can go into these pharmacies and you can speak to a pharmacist, and you could say, hey, look, I have this blister on my foot. It's starting to look a little like worrisome. They will ask you to show them your little blister on your foot, and you can show it, and they'll say, okay, let me go get you something. They will speak English with you. They will be fluent. They're highly educated, the pharmacists in Europe, and they have a little bit more of diagnostic powers, not doctors per se, but they act a little bit more like a doctor than you might expect at a pharmacy here in the United States. Up above, you see a food court. That's a food court at the top of this mall. And I didn't go with students to eat at this food court, but I heard that students went, as I was told, almost every night, Dr. Bloom. They would go over here And there's McDonald's at one end, there's a Pizza Hut at the other end, and then there's all different types of foods from the world that you can try and eat. So students felt very happy there. Here's a view not far from where that modern mall is. In fact, that white box building behind this blue tiled church is actually a Starbucks. So you will be able to explore this road very fully. It's our neighborhood. That's in our neighborhood. Some random shots of Porto I took. The bottom right-hand corner, students were waiting for our boat ride on the Douro, and there's always musicians. And some of these students here became friendly with this woman and had conversations with her. She was from Brazil, and she was talking about why she was in Porto. Just a really good vibe in Porto altogether. I don't know why the horses are there, but yet they were. So as I said, your study abroad is about being together, making friends, traveling as a group. You will be with me from about 10 in the morning until about 3 in the afternoon, every day except for your weekend off, which means that instead of sitting and me lecturing you either human development or environmental psychology, or with Dr. Fullerton, his business class, or his leadership class, remember you're taking credits when you're there, you will go on field trips where I will stop. Here I am stopped, talking, orienting us to something that's related to something special about the culture of Porto. On the right-hand panel, that's just us walking down the street together. We spend a lot of time together, and students, I think, really loved it. You get to meet students from all over the USG. There's 5 CCGA students here. That's me on the right. And that the students from Gordon State, West Georgia, Georgia Southern, Augusta, KSU, Georgia State, Albany State, and Georgia Highlands. And they're all friends. I was just told by one of the students on WhatsApp, we will use WhatsApp to communicate with each other, that they were having a reunion, a student reunion, which is, lovely that they're friends and they want to spend time together. Here's a field trip to Casa de Musica, where we toured this incredible music hall. I won't spoil all the secrets of it, but architecturally one of the most interesting buildings I've ever been in. Here's a field trip to a modern art museum. Many students had not been to a modern art museum before. It has a huge gardens and grounds and art embedded in the grounds. There's also a treetop walk, and the ticket that I will get for you will let you go on the treetop boardwalk. It was a really great way to finish our long day indoors, to walk the treetops. Speaking of walking, this is actually me in Porto walking steps, and I think you will do these steps with me. But, urban walking is different than hiking. It's about, being able to pause once in a while and look at something interesting. It's about being together and kind of touring together. And even though one student said her legs were sore the next day, and by the end her legs were not as sore, I do want you to try to walk before you go to get your steps up so that your body's like, okay, all right, so now we're going to walk a lot. And you will feel really proud, I think. We are there during the Festival of Saint Juin. This is one of the biggest parties in Europe. It is not a big party in the sense of American idea of partying. This is more a family and city and town party. What people do is that they buy those little, on the right, those little basil plants, and if you, crush this is a tiny leaved basil. If you crush the leaves, it smells sweet because they want you to have a sweet feeling and have, it's not a New Year celebration, but it certainly is a year marker from one Saint Juin to the next. It's always on June 23rd. And everybody buys these little plasticky, balloony hammers. They're very light plastic. And when you, I won't spoil the secret, but when you walk through the town, people take these hammers, and you will have one also, and you are permitted to hit someone on the head with it. It is not painful. It does make a silly squeaking noise. And I think the first time you get bonked in the head with one of these, you will remember it for the rest of your life. It's just an unusual social contact. to have a playful time when people get hit in the head. But the hits are supposed to be good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. And there's balcony parties and music and bands, big band setups throughout Porto, all free. You can go around and check out the music. And then at midnight, there is a huge firework display in the Douro River that everybody, not everybody, but many people walk all the way down to the beach from there and wait till the sun to come up when the sailboat races are the next day, and they come back into town sailboat racing. The port wine houses are the racers. I'm finding I spent 3 summers in Paris, and the weather was getting kind of too hot almost. I don't know if that's just a quirk of temperature or if there's something going on with the weather. We don't know, right? But it was hot in Paris. There's no air conditioning in the rooms in Paris, but the temperature in Porto was gorgeous. It got a little chilly some days. It got a little bit warm, but not hot another day. But mostly it was sunny and 74. You will have a private concert. This is Carlos Arujo on the left, and Tico, the owner of this string store. I made friends with Tico several years back by buying a ukulele in his shop, and they put on a concert. Again, part of your fee is that I will buy you a ticket to this. I arrange the concert, and we go, and we have a great time. We loved every minute of it. Some loved it more than others. This is Will from Gordon State. He went to the string store, heard these guys playing these instruments, asked to play the bass, and they played some songs with him. It was really special. We really enjoyed that. One of the first things we'll do is go to Sao Bento train station. I will have you pick a tile. So you can see that huge blue tile on the right. Everyone chose one individual tile. As you can see, Annalise is holding up her watercolor of her tile. I will provide some watercolors for you, and we'll have some time on the balcony for you to come in, over a few days to drop in and to paint your tile. You will always have a souvenir of Sao Bento train station this way. We look at the environment of the Dragones soccer stadium. We had a fun day there. We go down to the beach. I will go down to the beach, or Dr. Fullerton will go down to the beach. I will have maybe 2 or 3 late afternoons a week where one of us will say, "Hey, look, we're going down to the beach, or I'm going down to the beach. Do you want to grab the bus and come down with us?" So it will cost you €4 to take a round trip ride on the bus. There is a less expensive way to do that. I can show you when we're there. The Douro River, you can see in the bottom, is just always there, close to the hotel, just down the hill from the hotel. Here's an image from the boat ride that I said we were waiting for earlier. That's included with the money that you give me. Or not me, I don't handle your money, but USG goes global. I will arrange a traditional Portuguese meal for us. This is one of the first few days we were there. And I love this sort of, not contrast, but this is really close to the end of the trip. And I just love looking at the faces of everybody. Everyone, I don't know, you can see we've all been transformed into people that have spent really high quality time together, learning together, students on their own, going out and making friends with people. This picture is outside the Sandman Port Wine Cave. All the port wine in the world is from Porto. It's right across the Douro in Via Nova de Gaia, and we did tour the port wine there. This is a seagull attacking Annalise. One of the students brought a drone, and yeah, I don't know why the seagulls did this, but they attacked her drone. This year, the trip is costing $2,300. Again, that's your hotel, your some metro rides, a starter meal, a goodbye meal, tickets to all the museums, all the attractions, anything related to field trips are all rolled into your $2,300. On top of that, you will buy your own airfare. I'll make another video about how to get the best airfare for you. And for you, it could differ, right? You might want to spend more and go straight from Atlanta straight to Porto. Or you might want to go to Amsterdam and wait 7 hours and then go to Porto because it's going to save you $500 and that could be very valuable to you, that money. So however you cut up your flight, I will help you. Hope and Pal, however you pay for your tuition is paid for, assuming that these credits go towards your degree program. The state probably will want Hope to pay for credits that are not just extra, but actually going towards. I have had some students that say, hey, I already used my Hope, or this doesn't go into my major, but I'm going to pay the $600 per course because I can go and I can study abroad. I can have that on my transcript. I have that as part of my life. And that is money well spent, I must say. This year, we're going to go up to these sea pools. I'll teach you a little bit more about that in another video. Prince Henry the Navigator home, I did not take this year, but now I know where it is, and it's just quite remarkable to be in this ancient house. Look, it has a Roman floor. Wow, wowie, wow, wow. That's beautiful. Sardine canning plant, so maybe you like fish or you don't like fish, but you are always going to know how Portugal processes their fish, and they do it in a very like a homey way with women that process each fish, put it in the can. You will learn all about that there. This tea house, I think, is really near this beach, the sea pool. And I'm going to go to Aveiro for the day. It is not included in the trip, but I'll get the price together, what that's going to cost. You'll have one weekend off. The weekend off is the Festival of San Juan, so I would recommend that you stay in town and experience that. Most students said that that was one of the highlights of their whole stay in Porto. We're there for 14 nights. You can take 2 nights. If you feel daring, you could fly out to Paris for a night and fly back. That's your free time. You're allowed to do what you want to do. The deal is you have to be back for when we meet on Monday for field trip. Field trip time is class time. And so if you're not there and, you have some absences, we need to know that you're safe and that you're with us when you're supposed to be. All right, I hope that helps you learn more about, oh, I got a pop-up there, but I don't think you can see that. I hope that you can think more about this trip. Put your deposit down if you hadn't. It's $300, and that's the money I'm going to be able to get permission to have spent, right? So we can buy these tickets. We can get you the sardine canning plant is about 14 euro. So you don't pay that. You pay USG Goes Global, and they will get these tickets bought for you. I've done everything to keep the price as low as I can. Dr. Fullerton is absolutely skilled at study abroad. He has been teaching maybe for the same as me, about 30 years with college students. I have taught in the Paris program for 3 5-week summers, and I was in Porto last year. He has brought students to Mexico and different parts of the world. We are, I think, going to be I'm really looking forward to our team and really looking forward to you. Have a great holiday if you're on break now. Depending on when you watch this video, you can give this video to a friend, send it to a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, a grandpa, whoever may want to know more about your study abroad interests. And please do, commit soon to the program. We have room for about 22 students, and we only bought 22 hotel rooms. I have about 20 students signed up, and then me and Dr. Fullerton. So you can see. All right, take good care. I'll make a few more videos about how to buy food, what your expenses otherwise might look like while you're in Porto. All right, bom dia.